Hey everybody, we are live in just a few minutes, so I'm getting set up and I welcome everyone here. Get this volume down. Okay, let me know if the sound is good. You could hear me, that would be great. Welcome. So today we're starting with a brand new treasure box, and what we do here on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11:45 till whenever is we get these unfinished wood boxes. This one I got from Amazon. It happens to be a cigar box, and I took the hardware off already, but it's a really cool box. My sis found these because it gives you a nice big area for your canvas basically, so that's cool. But there's lots of different styles of boxes that you can choose from. There's heart boxes and round boxes and everything. It's really fun. And if you don't have a box but you want to paint along, grab whatever, a planter thing or a canvas, whatever you want to do. And if you just want to hang out, that's cool too. So last week, welcome everybody. Last week we talked about doing a dolphin box, Winter the dolphin, who has since passed away, not since last week, but has passed away. And I'm going to be doing that one for my granddaughter, and I just started that. Let's see. I just started this box last week, this weekend, and so all I have right now, she wanted yellow and blue, so that's what I have right now in the bottom. It looks kind of messy and kind of gross, but it'll get better later. Anyway, and then she wants Winter the dolphin on the top, the lid. So, but she also wants a heart around that, and it has to specifically be Winter. So I started thinking about that and realized that I will be doing this box alone, on my alone time, because I'm pretty sure there aren't a lot of people out there that want to do Winter. But if you want to, then that's cool too. Do Winter. You do you. So that's where that box has stopped for right now. Welcome. Hey everybody. So if you don't know, I'm Melody from Cape Charles Art. I also have a Cape Charles Art page on YouTube, and that is where I post my lives, and I chop them down a little bit. But if you need to go back and look at something or listen to something, you can find it there. I wish that when we did these lives that they would record also the comments, because there's a lot of artists that pop in and will say helpful tips, and when we watch the replay they're not there, so that's kind of a bummer. But anyway, but while you're here, if you know any tips or tricks or anything and you're an artist or creator, jump in, join the conversation. All right, welcome. All right, so we've started with gesso. Let's see, 11:45. I'm just supposed to be getting started right now, so that's cool. Yay, welcome. I'm glad you guys have made it. So I've just got some gesso. It's just a regular acrylic gesso. And I've already gessoed the inside lid, all of the corners and everything. And I've gessoed all the inside of the bottom as well. I have not gessoed the outside. So what I was thinking was I would go ahead and do kind of a wet on wet, like Bob Ross type of thing, though it's not oil paints I'm using, but put my gesso on, and while it's wet, go ahead and put some unicorn spit or paint on. Welcome. Hey Randall, you made it. Hey Shannon, welcome. And I'm excited. Dawn is going to be in here as well, and she is a Facebook friend. I have never met her in person, but my sister knows her, and has connected us. So that's kind of cool that she's coming in here to do this for the first time. So welcome everybody. And I'm going to go ahead and get gloves on. Oh, thank you for the share, Randall. I appreciate you. Thanks for all the hearts and likes, people. I'm going to get a unicorn. At least get their spit, Dawn. At least. I did it. I did it. I have a true confession to make. I purchased the $56 sparkly unicorn set. I don't know how many there was in it, 5, 6, but you know, actually that was a really good price for unicorn spit. I'm just saying. And I had already got this deep purple sparkle, and I haven't even used it yet, but it's a gel stain. In case anybody hasn't seen unicorn spit and you're an artist, working but listening, very cool. Hey Kentucky, welcome. Yeah, be safe, Randall. So if you haven't used the unicorn spit, it's a gel stain, very saturated, very vibrant colors. It will take over your pigments in acrylics unless you take like half of this compared to a full of the acrylics, I mean, if you're mixing. But so it's something definitely to play with though, because you can add it to your regular acrylics to strengthen their color and make them more saturated, or you can wet the box down and put it on like a stain and then wipe it with a sponge and it goes right into the grain. This one doesn't have any wood grain. So, I mean, it does kind of, I might be able to bring it out. I changed my mind. And that's what I do. I see one, I don't even know if you guys can see this, but I see one grain going like this. And man, that looks like it definitely could be water right there. So this is going to be a fun box. Anyway, so we're going to start with gesso. If you don't want to put gesso on, that's fine. You don't have to. The reason we put gesso on is it gives teeth to the paint or whatever we're adding. And another reason is if you're going to seal it with resin, then you want to make sure all of the little holes and stuff like that in this wood is sealed. And this is just another way to do that. So, but it's not like absolutely necessary, even if you are going to work with resin. So I've done it both ways. It just seems to work better with the gesso. Welcome. Hey. So now that I've seen the wood, I'm considering doing the gel without putting the gesso on the lid because I want to see if I can use it as a stain. So I'm going to do that right fast. You do gesso or whatever. And remember we talked about the law of thirds, rule of thirds, and it's not a hard, you don't have to do it this way. But if you divided this into thirds this way and then thirds this way and pictured that in, you've got like a basically a tic-tac-toe, I'm thinking. But anyway, okay, the third going across here and across here is either horizon or water. And then these, where the lines come down to make the thirds this way, right at those imaginary crossroads, those are very high points that you want to hit. Like if there's a cross of a line going this way and a line going this way in my head on these thirds, this would be a perfect highlight place. And this too. Anywhere that those lines cross are a good solid where you can feature things like a lighthouse. And then if I put a lighthouse down here where these two lines crossed on my thirds, then I would go to this crossing line up here and put a bird or sun and clouds to try and balance it. It just helps learning how to balance a box where it looks like, it doesn't look like it's, you know, but you can do it any way you want, always. Hey, welcome. So that's the thing of thirds. I just wanted to, we talked about the thirds last time, but we didn't talk about where those lines cross. And though I was reading on this again this morning, and I had remembered it from before, but didn't say. So those lines are perfect lines for featured items, okay? So picture that in your head as you're designing your box, if you want to go that way. So, okay, enough talk. I'm going to get a wet sponge, and I'm just dampening the lid because I'm working with some unicorn spit. So if you're not working with spit and you're working with paint, then you can just go ahead and put your gesso on, or forget your gesso, and just think of what color you want your overall box to be. What kind of a mood do you want it to be? Is it going to be sunny and bright and happy, or is it going to be mystical or magical or romantic? Those are all color choices, really, that help you push that narrative that you want to see come out on your box. I've already apparently done the sides in gesso, so there's that. Okay, I've got it nice and wet. I can't really think too much of my thirds if I'm following my little line going across, but I see one up here. So that is good. That would be my horizon line, I think. So I'm going to take some tape after I unicorn spit this and tape my horizon line. If you've not done that, it might be something you could do, and it helps a little bit sometimes. Get it nice and straight. You can always move it. If it was up too high or too low, you can push it up. But it kind of just gives you an idea of how it's going to look. All right. So, yeah, I'm doing blue sparkle. No, I'm sorry, purple sparkle. No, because I didn't open it yet. Brand new. Woo woo. I just want to see what the sparkle looks like on the box. Nice and dry like this. Kind of damp, but no gesso. So I'm experimenting over here while you guys are just painting or whatever. I always seem to usually start with my horizon line, my water and sky area. So I'm just now going to do this right where I saw that line, and I'm using my fingers. Okay, I see the sparkle. That's cool. Lots of sparkle. Yeah, I didn't do tape. That was fast. But I might still. I don't know. Okay, so you can see kind of a third. Not really. But it's pretty. I like the sparkle. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. Oh, I cannot wait for those other ones to get here. Welcome, everybody. Okay, now I'm just going to smear that whole thing in. And I'm going to add some black, because I want kind of a nighttime feel to this box. So I'm just adding black up on the top and on the bottom, a little bit down there. And I think I'm going to take that same damp sponge and just wipe it across. I like the dark. I like having to kind of unveil different colors as you paint. And this is one way I know how to do it, is start off with dark colors and then just start mushing in your brush, and you'd be surprised what comes out. So that is unicorn spit and this foam brush. Look how covered that is. Y'all, I just forgot to mention the fact that you really want to make sure your orientation is right. Like that is where my latch for the front of the box is. So if it's not right and you're thinking you're up in the sky, but it's actually the beach area if it's turned around. So remember that. Oh, I love this. Look how gorgeous. I mean, you can almost see water and I don't even know. I'm gonna put more purple. Playtime. It is time to play. I bet everybody worked hard yesterday. Some people are working hard today. My hubby being one of them. I know Randall's working and playing at the same time, trying to be here. Just added a little bit of water. So I'm wiping it across. I really am not really concerned, really am not really at all about what I'm going to end up with right now. I'm just playing in paint. And remember, whenever you begin to create, if you can think to yourself, I'm just playing, I'm just practicing, then you don't have to fear, what if I mess up, you know? It doesn't matter. That's how we learn. And not only that, that's how we discover all these cool things that we would have never known if we weren't desperately trying to fix a problem, right? I mean, that's me. That's my story. Okay, I gotta go back down the green way. Oh, this is so rich looking. Hey, welcome. Thanks for all the likes, everybody. Appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so we put some purple sparkle in the lid, and now I want to do the bottom as well. So I do have gesso inside, but I don't on the outside. I'm just going to go ahead and keep with that, since that's how this was. Ooh, except on the side there. Oh well. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a problem going down the top of my box here. It's actually the side, so whatever that is, I'm going to have to work on that, fix that. And if I can't fix it, if it's something, some sort of glue or issue on the box itself, that's okay, because we've got spackling. And I will put a palm tree there. Anybody watched Randall's tutorial? I know y'all did. He had quite a few there. He went through lots of clouds and trees and such. It was very cool. He hit the palm tree enough, just enough. It helped, it did. It kind of just reinforced some things mostly, but I really liked the fan brush thing, and it had been so long since I had done a palm. So it was a good refresher course as well. I should have just gone ahead and practiced them, but I didn't. It's hard for me to watch and paint at the same time. So I think that's, a lot of people are like that. So here I would be surprised if people are actually sitting down and painting with me, but it's kind of cool to think that they might be. A little cyber studio get together. Went ahead and did the bottom. How you guys doing out there? Oh, I know, Sherry, that tutorial was amazing. The clouds, I really got into that. That was so cool. trying to get my orientation. I don't even know. Okay, here we are. All right, now for the purple. You can put your unicorn spit right on your sponge if you want and make it, you know, more specific. And like just there, like where if you just want to see just some purples here and there, you don't have to do the whole thing. Of course, I do get carried away with this purple. Love it. A little bit of black on this issue I'm having over here with this wood. You know, I start off thinking this is how I'm going to do it, basically, and it changes a million gazillion times before it's over, but that's the way I paint. And for the longest time, I really had an issue with that because I just thought, I don't know why, I just thought it was wrong and I need to do it better and I need to do it this way, and you keep fighting, trying to learn a different way other than you, and it just becomes frustrating until you finally realize, or I finally realized, just do it whichever way works for me, you know? That's the whole point, is playing and creating and just loving the process. And if you're striving to do it like somebody else, it steals that joy, you know? I'm not saying you can't learn techniques from other people for sure, like Randall's tutorial. That was awesome. But when it comes to, you know, who you are, what you like to paint with even, or on, or like, are you like focused in one area basically, or do you like to just skip around, or, you know, just do you. Alright, so basically I have a very strange looking section there, and the more I try and stain it, the whiter it gets, so weird. Thank you, Randall. Thank you so much. So I'm not sure what to do with that right now, but it's okay, I don't care. I'm going to start adding some white, and let me get these gloves off for a sec. They're just such a mess. I should put more gloves on. I should own stock in gloves. Right, Cherry? You and me. Oh, thank you for sharing the live, Randall. I appreciate that. I don't know how you do that. How do you share the live? We'll have to talk later. All right, so here we are. And it's nice and dark. It's too dark. So, of course, I want to add some white, but I don't. I'm going to keep with my unicorn spit, but you go ahead and do acrylic or whatever you want. I just want to add some white on those lines that I saw earlier, and this is going to be just straight onto the box. Kind of like that. Just let it sit in there for a second, mixed in with the black and the purple. And I'm just running my brush up into the edge of it a little bit, just to drag some of that white down into what I've got here. And all I've got is that same white on my brush. I'm just dragging it through the unicorn spit. I don't know if this is going to work, so it's just, I'm experimenting. I like the softness of it. I like that. Trying to remember if I got the orientation of the box right, and I just lucked out because I forgot. Adding some purple. Just to see what it does in this white. I've got the most peaceful music on. I don't know if you can hear it. I wish you could. It's kind of ocean sound, little piano music. Welcome everybody. Okay, so I played in it. Now I'm just brushing it back over. Brushing it in. I might brush this in a gazillion times before I'm satisfied with something that pops up. I like to just keep brushing it back and forth, adding different colors, and waiting till something shows up. Something always does. So now I'm going up into where my sky is. I'm just softening that white right there at that horizon line. So I noticed the other day, I was painting and I was kind of like going, it was that one I destroyed and painted over, but I was going like around a rock and I was trying to make a path. And I noticed I was like leaning like it was really going to help me carry myself around that rock. I was like, it was weird. I don't know, you guys lean into it? Morning. Just adding a few different colors. I've got my purple, my black, and my white, and I decided just to go ahead and get a little fan brush and see what happens. Since we're just experimenting and playing, this is just our base coat, so you can do whatever you want. Anyway, and just kind of drag it across. Oh, that's pretty. Isn't it? Let's see if I add a little bit of water, what happens. You can dilute this really a lot, where it's just a glaze. It's very pretty. It doesn't look like an ocean yet. I'll keep going till it does. Love the colors. I think I went a little bit more dark purple in the sky. I think that will be pretty when it gets start mixing in with black and the white for the clouds. Maybe there's clouds. Oh, I got sparkles in the sky. I forgot it was sparkly. Sweet. It's just a surprise to me, and I'm the one painting it. How is everything, everybody? How you guys doing? Anybody actually painting out there? add some black up there too. Apparently I'm feeling very rich and royal with these colors, so I'm gonna go with it. You really can't go too dark because you can always lighten it. And the cool thing is, I think the part that makes things most beautiful is the contrasts, you know, between the color and the non-color, the dark and the light. Still not sure what I'm doing with the entire box, so I do want to keep coming down around the sides a little bit so that it won't be such a stark difference. And you'll notice that the inside keeps showing on those lines on the side. So I will probably do the inside with the unicorn spit stain. I will do these edges with that unicorn spit stain. And then before I resin, after it's dry, I will masking fluid and then resin it. That's the process. Welcome everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for the likes. Okay, I want some white in my sky and on my beach and in the middle, just because. But I want, it's unicorn spit stain, so I'm just gonna go ahead and thin it a little bit with water on my fan brush. Still trying to figure out where everything is, waiting for it to show me what it wants to be. And I do love that part. You know what I'm talking about? Where you just stick your brush in it and start pushing things around, and all of a sudden it's like, oh look, a rock, a cliff. And then it's like, oh, and there it goes. Because you wouldn't leave it alone, Mel. That's all right. It's all about learning. When to step away is one of my hardest things ever. Set the brush down, step away. My sis tells me, and I just don't listen. Just don't. Getting better at it though, honestly. Well, I kept thinking that this in the front was going to be really smooth sand, but then I saw a rock, and then I was like, wait, there's something else. Let me show you. Maybe it's a, oh, it's so pretty though. I think it's a driftwood. It could be a driftwood. Wow, I just went right up in your face. Sorry about that. So you see what I'm saying? Kind of right there. Right there. I don't know. But that was just doing this, you know, across your colors. And then things just start popping up. That's how I paint. I love that. I do want to do the palm tree, and I am, I should do it on this side since this side has damage or something on that part of the box. However, I really like doing my palms from left to right. So I guess maybe there could be one there and then a few on the other side to balance it, thinking of my thirds. I don't know. I'm going to add more white. When in doubt, add more white. I never did do the tape either, so there. Oh, that's so pretty. It's just, how can just one little bit of white just give you the idea of reflection? I just love painting. You just never know what's going to happen when you run the brush across. Keep doing that, I'm going to end up with a UFO though. Oh, but gosh, I'm beginning to see that this could be like totally black and white with some orchids in it. Sorry, you guys, I'm just totally not. Who doesn't like unicorns? I must have missed the conversation. I don't know. I love unicorns. I'm almost thinking just to keep this very soft, you know, just the ideas of everything, but I do like the idea of a palm. I'm just taking my fan brush and just kind of scooching it around here and there up into my sky area. Every time I do that, it just kind of moves some of that unicorn spit around a little bit. Gives me some different colors and shades of color. Tried something that did not work, so I'm going to try it again. I should have moved this over just slightly more, this little moon guy, to be on that critical line I was talking about in the thirds and the thirds. But anyway, I'm not. So there's that. I could move it, but I don't want to. And that's okay, because who knows what else is going on this box. So for now, this is what it's looking like. One person commented about highlights being in like the top 10% of your box, or not box, but your painting. And I kind of like that. That's not exactly 10%, but the moon moves, so I mean, it's coming up, right? But having a light source, knowing where that light source is early on, really kind of helps with the rest of your painting, because you don't know where the highs and lows are going to be if you don't know where your light source is coming from. And I've got lots of paintings where it's like I have all this light and no actual, you can't see a light source, and that's okay. In my mind, it's fine, because it's mine. But I just figure, you know, it's out of view. You can't see where it is. That's my rule. Thank you. Moon on light source, yeah. Yeah. And so I just took some purple and on my edge of my brush and just drug it along across the moon, and I kind of like that. That works for me. And of course it's sparkle. I want some darker around the edges again. I don't want to get too light. One of the nice things I think to do is to make something actually run off of your canvas, like a cliff or a bird or whatever. Maybe not a bird, but the rocks. Like, just show like a piece of the rock where you know it's going up, it's going to be even higher off of there. I think it adds a little bit of interest rather than just seeing, you know, the island part. And then you can continue to build in front of that rock and just keep pushing it back by doing that. I want to extend it out just a little bit farther, so I just, same paint that I had on the brush, just pushing it around a little bit. And I'm not sure I want to bring the sand around this side or this side, but by doing on this third a heavy piece, it kind of balances that. So if I brought something from here, that would be very cool. And I'm thinking it would be nice if I don't mess it up. Don't worry about it. I'm having a war in my head. To come around and have that palm frond hang, you know, like hang where you can see the moon through it, I'm thinking. But we'll see, because it's early on. Who knows? How's your boxes doing, people? What's going on over there? Aw, thank you, honey. Thanks, Shannon. You're so sweet. Welcome, Kathy. You know, the other thing I like is just where the water has gone out, like it's been high tide, now it's low tide, you know what I'm saying? And it's still wet, that whole wet looking thing. I'd like to try and get some of that in here, but I don't know. Still early. I'm going back over these colored parts. That there's something wrong with this box on this side, so seeing if the black will take care of it, or if I'm actually going to have to do something totally different. Welcome. Just add some white and some water and just see what happens. Well, this is it so far. I'm just still basically letting it paint itself just by moving my brush around. And if I do that and something happens that I'm not like, not really, then I just add a different color and keep moving it around until something does show up. Try different brushes, do some of that. My problem right now is I have not established my boundaries of my water. And in my head, I'm really not sure. I think I just found them. this mountain back out a little bit farther. Oh, what happened to it? Did something get destroyed out there? I saw the word do-over. Pouring off the box. Okay, now I'm just putting the same three colors, just black, purple, and white, unicorn spit, in my little palette area. And I just touched with the white a little bit on that dark to get the waves. Just touched two little V, formation basically. Leaving this super simple. I'm really liking this whole flow. It's misty and I love it. So I don't want to get really awesomely detailed with it. I might later. I'm just adding a little more purple down here next to that big wave. Not so much of the black. Too much there. I'm just twisting my brush back and forth like this with white on it, just to give you the crash. And just move it around and then add another little color to it and do the same thing back the other way. It just works for me. And then in the front of that, go ahead and blend it out, whatever you didn't want to be crushing. Thinking with this one wave, it might be kind of nice to have where you can kind of see through the wave. So I just want to start pushing that white up on this part. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I had them all even, didn't like that. So I want to take some lighter color, the purple and the white, and just start, where am I at? Start pushing that color up into that white and make that wave really kind of show through the orchid and the moon. That's what I'm hoping for. That's the plan. So that wave would be dark at the bottom, and then as it goes up to the very crest, it would start to get much, much lighter. And if you want to try and get the moon to shine through, then you do definitely need to get some white in there. turn it around. Just adding some purple at the base and just pushing it right back up into the tall part of the wave, because I want purple to show through on that wave. And all of that below it will be, you know, back down into the grays and the blacks. And I may have to wait a little bit till it dries to get that moon part to show through this upper part of the wave. But I want it kind of transparent is what I'm talking about. Sorry guys. You know what I'm talking about. Welcome. 12:30. Okay, so at 12:45 my time, we are going to take a half-hour break. So we have like 15 minutes to paint still. Then we'll take a half-hour break, and then I'll just come back and hit it live again. So just so you know, that's the plan. And while we're sitting here for a second, while this is drying a little bit, I wanted to show you last week's treasure box for those that haven't seen it. Anyway, it turned out nice, I thought. I ended up, maybe it did. Okay, so that's how the front was, and it does glow in the lighthouse, if you can see it. And then I just did the bottom of the box in resin as well, and did my signature in that just because I was pouring resin all over it anyway. It wasn't like a planned thing. And then I did this on the inside lid, and that is the liquid glass. It's not resined. And then there's the bottom, or the starfish and rocks and shells and such. So I think it turned out really nice. I'm very happy with it. You can still feel kind of the sand. The resin just poured off of that. I don't know, it's kind of like rounded, but it still covered it, and I just think it turned out pretty cool. So yay! One done. This one I wanted to mention because I had a problem with it when I went to put the hinges on. I noticed that on a section I didn't have a certain color that I wanted. So I mixed the unicorn spit in with liquid glass. And this had already been liquid glassed. So I didn't sand it or anything. I just applied the unicorn spit and liquid glass on it, and it chipped off once it dried. So if you're going to have to add more color or more anything after you've liquid glassed it, make sure you do just kind of buff it up, rough it up a little bit. I was just kind of hoping it would make it, but it didn't. So anyway, that I'm still not done with this one. I still have to add highlights to the belly and the face and all that. I mean, it's all one color. I didn't like that. And then that's the bottom, like that. So gotta sand this down and add the more liquid glass. But you know, that's all part of the art. That's just not the fun part. Not for me. Like putting all hardware and stuff like that. Not fun. But necessary if you want your product to look nice. And even if, you know, you're giving it for gifts or anything like that, it's the finishing part that really does make the difference. And that's, I think when people ask me, you know, well, basically, what were your beginning ones like compared to now? I think the only difference is really the finishing work and learning the resin and making it a nice all-together gift, you know. The art was okay in the beginning, but I really struggled with how to seal it and working with the resin, and when I was trying to get like sand it, I would have scratches in it or I would gouge it. So, but it's all part of the learning process, and the more you do it, especially on the boxes, the more you realize how to avoid some of those things, and it's not, you know, it makes it so much more fun. So, but you do have to get through the frustration parts to make it fun, but it's worth it, you know. All right, so let me try this white on what we've pushed up here. Let's see, where is it? Right there? Something like that. That purple wave. I want to just hit it with the white and see if it'll hold that. Kind of make little splashes coming up on top of it as well. I like all the different colors that come out on this unicorn spit and this white. Like, I'm putting white on there and it just came out pink, and that's okay, because once it fully dries, then I'll just touch it on top of that, or I'll use a different white, like the titanium white, heavy body. If you don't want it to bleed through, that's always a good option. Alright, so far, that is how that part is looking. How is everybody doing? You like yours and you are painting. Dawn, I'm so proud of you. That's so cool. Oh, I can't wait to see it. That's so cool. And are you having fun? You must be if you like it. That's awesome. Just putting some more foam stuff. I need more brushes. I hear ya. I mean, to look at my brushes, I don't need a thing. But honestly, I should get rid of like half of those. I just don't have the heart. They become people. So it's like you just keep them around. Can't get rid of them. I do have to add some brushes, but I'm telling you, I'm excited about the sparkling spit that I got coming, so I'm happy with that. I'm just adding some dark over here on this side. I don't know why, something's up with this area, so I just thought I'd add some dark right there until I figure out what's going on. Put some dark and white back and forth, just like always. Okay, yay. So maybe that's sand. That's where one of my trees could be. Maybe, maybe. Okay, it's looking like it might be nothing I can do about that. Hopefully, once I get some palm trees up and move some paint and spackling around, it won't be as noticeable. That's my hope. Welcome. Let's get some spackling. I kind of like the way this one turned out, not a box, but and it's done the same way that I'm doing this box lid, pretty much. The only difference I did with this was I put gesso on, and then I put the unicorn spit right on wet gesso and worked it in to give me a background, and then I just dipped my brush in black and started putting in little black spots wherever I felt I needed them. So that's an easy way to do a painting, and it's fun.